it's really a twofold statement. And I was little, my mom told each of her children that choose something that we love to do and make a career out of it. And at the time, I loved helping kids and I loved to play sports. I was not really someone that like succeeded easily in sports or in grades or in school and stuff. I didn't really have a lot of friends. Things just came really difficult to me. And I had to work almost twice as hard as the person next to me to be as successful as they did. And, a lot of people held me back and told me that I wasn't going to be successful or I couldn't do what I wanted to do or wasn't going to be to achieve whatever goal it is I wanted to achieve. And I really I use that as fuel to create who I wanted to become. And I also to then demonstrate for kids and demonstrate for girls and just for students that no matter what their past looks like or whatever, what obstacles they live in every single day, that they can overachieve, that they can succeed. And it doesn't have to be according to what society tells you to do. It can be whatever norm, it can be whatever mold they want to create. And that's really what I feel like I'm called to show these kids, because a lot of kids come from different backgrounds and they have daily struggles and they have challenges and they think that they can't, achieve these goals, and they need that person showing them or living them by the example, saying, hey, I see you. The most amazing thing is that health and physical education has been just deeply rooted with social emotional learning all along. It is the cornerstone. Social emotional learning is what is the foundation of health and a solid, high quality health and physical education program. And whenever we are talking about wanting to have kids be successful, the first thing that we are looking towards is, well, what do we know about them? How do we know this person? It goes back to forming relationships with kids. And we have to pay close attention to those relationships, especially right now. We have to know what's going on in their lives, and to take it one step farther, how do we help them navigate through what they're doing in their life? And what I love about our profession is that it's the only profession that truly looks at and focuses on developing the whole child every single day, no matter what. They are developing the whole child from every single learning domain, and they're able to take the skills that we use and then we teach them in class and use it every single day for the rest of their lives. We had to respond in real time and pivot, on a pin. Just we had a stay-at-home order. The world was our worlds were in a crisis, and we had to respond to that and figure out how are we going to teach virtually in a space where we've never done that before. What is going to look like? That is some of the questions that we were thinking as educators, and thinking of how are we going to reach our students. What kind of equipment do they have at home? What can we use everyday items that can be turned into PE equipment? For example, socks as an object for throwing or catching or for in multiple different activities, or a piece of paper where you can wad up into a paper ball. Just everyday items. They've taken milk jugs, filled them up with water or broomsticks, and just use that as a bar. Baskets, laundry baskets, any type of everyday things they've looked at. And we've really recreated the wheel about how can we have a quality health and physical education class at home? How do we reach our kids virtually? And how do we still form those relationships with our kids virtually when things like crises like this happen? Health and physical education is, one of the first things that gets considered to be scratched from a budget. And so you have to be able to think about that. And right now, our kids need this more than ever. And we've always needed health and physical education more than ever. But it's always something to think about as we're pivoting again or shifting again into another phase of COVID, and people starting to get the vaccine, but also planning and budgeting for curriculum and for next year. That's also something that we as a profession are always thinking about, and just knowing how to advocate for our profession and understanding that there is money and funding there, but knowing how to do that and how to ask the right questions or who to go to to find out how you can gain more money, and even how to talk to your administration about that. I think getting them on board is super critical, because once they are on board and they see why what you do is so necessary, they will help you with whatever funding that you are what you're needing. As far as curriculum goes, I think one thing that we did really, really well during the pandemic, once again, as a profession, is that you saw all of us come together and start to share these resources left and right. I mean, I'm blown away by the amount of resources that we share via Twitter or via email or online or whatever the platform may be. But teachers just wanted to help each other, and we learn constantly from each other every single day. And I can't speak to the power of that enough, because it takes all of us together, and it takes all of us doing those things and speaking the importance of health and physical education. That's what makes it so powerful. One of the best things that I get to do is help kids. And one of the best things about that is seeing them grow and seeing them learn. And you literally see the growth in front of them, in front of your eyes. Like, it's just magnificent. It's almost magical. And I know I don't use that word lightly, but it really is. And I have many students that I've had the privilege of coming up to me and telling me, that I've helped them to feel more empowered, that they feel good about who they are in their own skin, that I've helped them become more confident. Even just something as simple as things that we do in the classroom. The next day they said, "Oh, I taught my mom that dance yesterday," or the other day, or I made my mom go grocery shopping with us so we could create healthy foods and do different things and try a different recipe. Those moments are really what unites all of us together, and it's just really powerful. One of the biggest things is ask questions, and you know you got to ask specific questions that are not just yes or no answers. Asking a question of, what did you learn in PE today, or what did you do in PE today, or what activities, or how did you like that, what did you think about this, what did you do in school. Just asking specific questions and then following up with them and like, okay, well, what are you doing tomorrow? Or another great idea would be even reaching out to the PE teacher and saying, how can I best support you during in health and PE? How can I best support you with what you're doing in school? How can I best support you at home, right? And how can I best support my child at home to support living a healthy and active lifestyle? And just having that constant communication open, because it's not, you know, having them become healthy and fit people doesn't just include one person. It's all of us united together. It is the student, it's the parent or the caregiver, it is the teacher, it is, it's all of us, it's their administration. And it's really important to have that support all the way around. Another idea would be to email the administration to advocate for your program, and just or advocate for their child, and just the importance of having them be physically active, but also having it be a quality physical education class, and what that looks like. Are they getting the tools that they need in order to live a healthy and active life? Are they getting the tools that they need in order to be able to identify how they're feeling and how they're navigating through these things in their lives, for right now and for years to come? And are they okay? Even just asking that question, hey, how are you doing? And not just asking it like as in a pass by kind of a question, but like really like, hey, how are you doing? Um, those types of things, I would definitely say that just please do, and don't be scared to do those things, because I have found that they want to share. Students want to share. They just need to feel safe. They need to feel encouraged. They need to feel supported, and they need to feel challenged, and they need to feel welcome in order to share these things. But they want to share. They just need the right environment to do that in.